All right. The way it works is kind of interesting because I use it very very differently than it's meant to be used. It was originally made for artists of any sort, and the idea was that somebody would say, "Hey, I'm a poor starving artist, and I'm trying to create this project," um, and then seeking patrons, which I guess is why they call it Patreon. And so the language that they use on the site is like pledges, and support and rewards and things like that. But that's not at all the way I use it. I don't use it. I don't. It's not at all support or charity or anything like that for me. For me, it's just a really handy platform of exchange. I want the difference being is that I want to give something of equal or greater value. It's just like if you went to a store and said, "Well, that's a good deal. I'm going to buy that coffee or whatever." So I use it for music lessons, and the reason I like to use it for a few reasons. One, it's extremely user friendly, especially consumer friendly. So like if somebody subscribes, which is basically the words I use, they use pledge. It's a monthly thing, and the consumer uh, could just cancel at any time, and there's no BS. It's because it is originally meant to be just like a generosity thing, and I don't run it that way. I run it more as a cooperative thing, where it's like my goal really is for the student to get the better deal. um, and so with that in mind, I also have streams available. So what some people will do is they'll take one lesson a month, and then and just because that's all they either can afford or are interested in or whatever. But also I do streams. And what a stream is just like this, but where I invite like everybody. So like 5 or 6 people or whatever number. And we go over like a group lesson. Or sometimes like a practice along where I'll say, I want to work on this and that. Feel free to come join me. But I do it by request, since everybody's schedule is different. What I'm doing for now is I say, well, just let me know if you want one. So if anybody goes, oh hey, can we get a stream this week on blues scales, or on blues licks or jazz licks or compositional ideas, or things like that, even mixing and mastering, it could be anything. And I'm like, oh yeah, let's do it. And what I'd like to do eventually is have like beginner, intermediate, and advanced streams and things. Um, and it is monthly. So it transfers money just like a phone bill. Like I have automatic payment method on my phone, and this is the same way. So it's convenient that way, so that I don't have to individually harp each student. Hey, it's a new month. I don't know if you're still It works out really nice that way. And oh yeah, and they work with PayPal. So like all my students are like, I have 2 students in the UK. I have a student who kind of comes off and on every now and then, who's in uh, Australia, and then recently I taught a guy one lesson in the Philippines. Anyway, the point is, like, if I had to like wait for a check from all those places, PayPal is just the way to go. Um, Patreon and PayPal, they take 5% each, but that's from my end. But I find it's worth it because it makes things so much easier for myself and for the student. But anyway, yeah, man, that's just something to look into if you're interested. And if you know anybody else who's interested, oh, that reminds me. I've recently decided that anybody who refers a student will also get a lesson to the equivalent. Or like, for example, if you have a friend who's interested and he signs up for lessons, then I'll give you a free lesson. Cool?